walked up and down the top. I don't even know what to go.
Good afternoon. This class believes that being early is on time, so they'd like to start. Please stand for the national anthem.
everyone. My name is Rebecca Zhang, and I served as the student body treasurer this past school year. It is my honor to welcome WSR faculty, administration, staff, families, parents, friends, and students to the commencement ceremony of the class of 2023. Thank you all for attending. Moving forward, I would like to kindly ask everyone to please silence any electronic devices and show respect to the speakers and the students that will be walking across the stage. Please hold your applause until every student has received their diploma. Now, there are a few things that I'd like you all to take home with you today. The first, of course, being your diploma, but besides that, I want you to reflect on these past few years with a critical eye. What did you do? What could you have done better? And what can you do to improve yourself? As a student, I have heard and seen discussions about the quality of the U.S. education system. Some people may say that the system lacks complexity or that school is too easy in the U.S. Others may also claim that students in the U.S. are intensely overworked by extracurriculars and academics. But I don't believe that it's quite as simple as either of these arguments. Living in an imperfect world means that we should be continuously improving these systems so that they may have the greatest impact on every following generation. But living in an imperfect world also means that we may neglect our reality in favor of our ideals. According to the American Psychology Association, the drive to be perfect in body, mind, and career among today's college students has significantly increased compared with prior generations, which may be taking a toll on young people's mental health. And as a student, I am concerned for my peers and myself that we may overwork ourselves in the process of achieving excellence. With that in mind, now I want you to reflect on these last few years without a critical eye. Instead of thinking about what you could have done better, think about what you did well. Try to remember your favorite things about high school and what you discovered in high school. It is important to achieve your goals, but don't forget to enjoy life in the process. Finding a delicate balance between these two things is something we must all learn how to do. And finally, remember that we are the future. We will soon be tasked with strengthening these systems, but that doesn't mean that we must achieve perfection. We as humans are so delightfully imperfect. And so consider this as a reminder from one of your peers, your classmate, that no matter what, there is virtually nothing as important as your happiness and well-being. Be kind. Be kind to people around you, people you know, people you don't know, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. I hope that one day we can create a world where we won't have to fight for a balance between success and happiness. Standing up here makes you remember our freshman year, going into spring break thinking we would come back to finish off the year. Of course that didn't happen, and in hindsight, that period of time was pretty frightening. Back then, graduation was the last thing on my mind, and it is quite incredible that it has already been 3 years since then. I am super proud of us for everything we do, everything we will do, and everything we are. So congratulations, class of 2023. I wish you well in health, happiness, and future endeavors. Thank you.
afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We are really glad to be here. Class of 23, congratulations. As I was getting ready this afternoon, I was reflecting on commencement exercises that I've attended in the past and trying to think in my head about how many I've been to. I was there in high school as an undergraduate, as a member of choir and band, certainly as a high school grad, college grad, then as a teacher, a principal, a superintendent. I think that number is right around 40 that I've been to. But it's interesting with that number, you'd think you'd get tired of it, but I really don't. There's a certain amount of excitement that comes with a ceremony like this. Like, the NACE is really fun to be part of. And so we're glad that you can join in on that with us. So whether it's your first or your 41st, again, thank you for being here. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage Mr. Tony Hudson.
Hello everybody, like that was already said, my name is Tony Hobson. Rebecca did a great job welcoming all of us here, so that's out of the way for me, and luckily Mr. Clinton is making my job a little bit easier too. And it may seem like some of us speakers are just random kids plucked up from the crowd to say some words up here today, but somebody wanted us to speak today, and somebody has to do it, so why not Rebecca? Why not me? Why not Mr. Clinton? Keep that in mind for this speech. First and foremost, I'd like to remind every person in attendance as to why they're here in the first place, and that's for the students. This couple 6 rows of kids right in front of me here, that's the whole reason commencement is happening this year. We're here for the class of 2023, and that's something extremely special. So I want all you guys to feel excited, have a little bit of butterflies, get excited once my speech is done, maybe clap a little bit, who knows. And most importantly, be grateful that you get to attend today for one of your loved ones. Like I said, today's not about me. It's not about any individual child. It's not about any parents, teachers, administrators, but about the former students in front of me. I'll get this out of the way before I move on, because most of my talk isn't really directed to you guys in the outskirts. But parents, today's not possible without you. I hope you do know that. I've said it at National Honor Society and Scholarship Night, but ceremonies like this don't happen without proper parenting. We raised a good bunch of kids that I'm happy I've been able to be classmates with for the past 12 years. Many hours of my day have been with them, and you guys have done a great job. And I hope you're excited to let them see the real world for themselves here. And I'm sure some of you guys in front of me are a little bit nervous about how your hair looks in your cap. Maybe you took a little bit too much time picking out your outfit underneath the robes. But that's not the focus either. The focus is of the class as a whole, not individualized one bit. Within the class, we're not here to celebrate the top of the group. It's not about the medals or the cords, or maybe not even about the diploma. Maybe a little bit because you need it, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to celebrate this family we've created over 12 years. Celebrate as one because we made it here as one. I hope you guys remember that. Why not us? Who better? And I can stand up here and list off many accolades that our class has achieved over the last 4 years. But why do that when all we're going to do in the next couple of years is top them? All we will do are bigger and better things together. Why not us? Who else? I'm not sure about you guys, but the past couple months I've felt like I'm racing towards some sort of finish line. Every week of high school just got busier and busier, and it felt like once this Friday is done, I can relax a little bit. It never happened, but we're still waiting. And any game or activity, it was like, this is the last big one. But I never knew what I was racing towards. And now that I'm speaking this right now, I'm realizing that there is no finish line. And if there is one, it's definitely not high school graduation. For many of us, this has been a month full of lasts. There's been a lot of last classes for us, the last day. When we were going through that, I bet you realize that the last day of school is just another day of school. The last AP biology class sitting by Nick Barber is just the last AP biology class sitting by Nick Barber. The last test, it's just another test. And if you're anything like me, I'm sure you were trying to make high school feel final. Have some sort of finality right here that you're aware of. And those attempts were probably too tough. In the marathon of life, we're nowhere near the end, and we should definitely not want to be near the end. We're merely at our first water break, a small moment of rejoicing, and then back to the fast-paced racing mentality. But this is where I caution a little bit of a speed check. Do we truly want to continue to live in such a fast-paced environment in the marathon? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind falling down in my marathon to look at the tulips a little bit closer. Because why not me? Somebody's got to do it. So in the marathon that we call life, rejoice now, celebrate, and remember how we all got here together in the first place. And that was as a family together. And remember to stay together. We entered high school as a group of strangers and made it through by creating bonds and sharing experiences with each other. For most of us, some of these have been the hardest moment of our lives so far, but we got through it together. Stay together today, tomorrow, and at least the next couple of years. Continue to be a family of Go-Hawks in the next chapter, because why not us? Here's a question for you guys. How many high schools in Iowa are having commencement this month, maybe next month even? And the answer is all of them. People get together like this every weekend. It's really nothing special. You know, a lot of kids get to graduate. But the special thing is, there's only 192 of us in here today that get to graduate as a Go-Hawk. And that should mean something. People always talk about Go-Hawk legacy, what it truly means. I think it's different for everyone. But only 192 of us get to graduate as Go-Hawks. We've worked for this day, and we've laughed up until this day together. Because why shouldn't we? There's nobody better to graduate as Go-Hawks than us. As a class of Go-Hawks exiting this room together for one last time, why not graduate as one? As the family we'll all enter in this. Being Waverly students, we're given the best facilities, the best classrooms, the best weight room. This is a very nice gym, I hope you guys have realized. And most important, we have the best staff. The people behind me, the teachers in the stands, the people that I unfortunately had my last day with a couple weeks ago. That's what makes WSR so worthwhile. And why not us? If someone has the best learning experience possible, why not have it be Waverly students? I actually have some friends who moved here from different schools this year, last year, and they have mentioned to me about how nice it actually feels to learn something in a classroom for once. I hope you guys realize how special that feels, you know, to graduate as Go-Hawks and to learn in classrooms like ours. At times, we can get overwhelmed by our privilege and just take it for granted that we have this beautiful space to work in. But we're lucky to live in this beautiful town that smells like hot chocolate with all these beautiful people around us. Because why not us? The people here care not only because they get paid to do so, but also because they care to see us succeed. They recognize our potentials and attempt to let us see too. But unfortunately, potential is not enough. I can stand here and ask Mr. Weber for advice on my speech. You know, a couple days ago I was really nervous. Any tips, Mr. Weber? And he can tell me that I'm a great speaker. But if I stand up here and just let my potential talk, it would look like a lot of hand gestures and not a lot of speaking. And it'd be pretty awkward for all of you guys. Potential is not enough. We can all stop now after building up this potential in all of our schooling, but we would accomplish nothing if we didn't capitalize upon our talents. So take that risk and do not rely on talent or potential to get you anywhere. Because failure is infinitely more satisfying than regret of not trying. After all, the world is your canvas to showcase any amount of creativity you wish to share. So why not go and share what you love? Why not you? Who's going to stop you from achieving, living, or having fun? And the answer is yourself. Who's going to stop you from getting an A on that test, or getting that promotion at work, or being that guy in that game? It's you. So if nobody's going to stop you, what's stopping you from going out there and achieving? Mr. Fox is a good example about what I'm going to say next, which is that we're all one step closer to living a life. We'll have jobs and lives and families, and maybe a little bit more hair, but I'm sure if you ask Mr. Fox where his proudest accomplishment of his life has been, he would tell you that it's been raising his daughters. Why not then? But at one point in his life, that was just a goal of his. One of the goals of his life was being a proper father to his daughters. And look at him now, with 3 grown successful kids contributing greatly to society. Lauren actually had a commencement this morning at Warburg, maybe I got a couple tips there. But what I'm attempting to get at is this, that Mr. Fox isn't done after his daughters have made it through college. After that aforementioned goal, he gets to work on a new one, and a new one after that, and hey, maybe another one. And he's probably getting new goals every day, being a lifelong learner, which is probably what he's going to say when he talks right after me. And that's why he's still going. It doesn't end after commencement, it doesn't end after college commencement. But you have to keep going, goals will keep coming your way. And this is when I realized that the marathon of life only has one finish line, and that is death. The goal of graduation is just a mere water break, and the goal of having a perfect family is yet another. So today, I ask you to rejoice. Celebrate, but remember again that life will continue to give you goals until you reach the finish line. So slow down a little bit. Why not us? hope you guys realize that once this whole thing's done and you got that piece of paper, you're actually a WSR alumni, which is pretty cool. And we always say, once a Go Hawk, always a Go Hawk. So I urge you guys, the class of 2023, myself included, to live and love as you have learned here. Care about things and people as you've been taught here, and to teach how you know how to teach. For me right now, look to the peers on your left and right. Give them a high five, give them a hug. I hope you guys realize that after today, you might not see them again. And that's the harsh reality of this day. So let's graduate not as 192 individuals, but as one. As the bonds we have created, as the connections we have made, as the family we are. So rejoice. Rejoice and remember how you got here, together. And I'm asking you guys to stay together. And remember that when you get a random call from some person named Tony Hobson in 5 years, asking for a high school reunion, give him a little bit of a chance, just for me. At that time, we shall come together and rejoice once again. Because who better than us? In our next chapter, Go Hawks, let's fly. Because why the hell not us? Thank you.
The first award attempts to recognize maybe the most important lesson for our young people. The most important thing is to learn to show up every day. The attendance award for this year is Joshua Arthur. Joshua, please stand. And if you show up most of the time, you can see that you might have an asterisk next to the student's name in the program. These signify that the student has earned a cumulative grade point of 3.5 or higher. Students, if you have an asterisk next to your name, would you please stand? Please join me. This class is a little larger than the other 15 I've been in front of, and as a result it also has a top 12. Please stand when I call your name. Nicholas Barber, Juliana Bartholow, Zachary Cummer, Olivia Eckerman, Daria Gramotieva, Anthony Hobson, Miranda Jansen, Taylor Jefferson, Jordan Cruz, Lauren Munson, Malika Mwangi, and Hayden Schneider. Please join me in congratulating them. Now it'd only be natural at this time to look forward, flashback if you will. Look backward, look forward. Looking back, it's natural to ask, how did you do? Well, I like to measure the success of a graduating class in 3 ways. First, what did you learn together? I've heard a lot of people say in my 30-some years that high school hasn't changed much. And it's true that many of these seniors have taken similar traditional challenging classes as their parents. Classes like pre-calc and trigonometry, English and American literature, government, physics, chemistry, and biology. But these seniors have also taken courses like engineering design, CNC programming, computer integrated manufacturing, horticulture, computer programming, design and publishing. And along with these courses within our walls, they've also taken over 20 different Warburg College courses ranging from astronomy to women in literature, and over 20 different community college courses, anything from nursing assistant to the introduction to information systems. So first of all, they have learned together in the classroom. Second, a lot of what we do happens outside the classroom. Almost all of these seniors have been involved in an extracurricular activity. young people do. They dream and set goals to perform at the state level in their chosen activity. In a lot of schools, people can recall that special year. We had that one team that went to state. Well, at this school, at this class, during their high school career, they have performed together at the state level or higher. Just about everything from band, jazz band, choir, orchestra, speech, dance, mock trial, DECA, FFA, robotics, math, track shooting, welding, bowling, track and field, construction, tennis, baseball, cross country, football, volleyball, wrestling, and yet to come, more soccer. Over 100 members of the senior class have been involved together in some state or national competition during their high school career. And last, where will learning together take them as we look ahead? A little over 60% of these seniors will attend a four-year college. An additional 25% will attend a two-year college or enter the military next fall. They're going to go on to places like Florence, Italy, Lynchburg, Virginia, Manhattan, Kansas, Macomb, Illinois, Brookings, South Dakota, St. Peter and St. Paul, Minnesota, Columbia and Kirksville, Missouri, and Iowa schools like Grandview, Hawkeye, Iowa State, University of Iowa, University of Northern Iowa, Upper Iowa University, Simpson College, Central College, Luther College, and about a dozen go over the street, good old Wartburg. So yes, this class has been successful in all three areas. Will they continue to learn together and succeed? Let's check back in 30 years. And while we're doing some math, let's go all the way back. Let's say that this high school started in 1960. Roughly 70 years ago. Let's say that about 150 a class. My quick math tells me there's only about 11,000 Go-Hawks in the world. 11,000. Here's 192 out of those 11,000. Congratulations. Now, seniors, I encourage you to do three things as you look forward. Hey, you got to grow. Next year is supposed to be hard. Focus on growing up. Focus on the struggle. Enjoy it. Second, continue to learn together because that's the main thing. And remember, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Graduating class, please stand. Waverly-Shell Community School Board Directors, these students before you have met all the requirements for graduation set forth by the state of Iowa and the Waverly-Shell Community School District. I proudly present to you the graduating class of 2023. With the first row, please move over. Rows 2 through 5 may have a seat. As you notice, this is a student-run celebration. To continue that tradition, we have the class secretary read the names of her classmates as they receive their diplomas. Let me remind you, it is not easy to stand before such a large crowd and pronounce everyone's full name. So please, we ask you for Malika's sake, refrain from applause and other celebrations. Each student has earned the right to have their name pronounced clearly and succinctly. Give Malika every chance to do that. Malika Mwangi, class secretary, will you please come forward to receive your diploma from our director and then read the graduates' names.
Anthony J. Hobson. Carson David Resnichek. Rebecca Zeng. Lindsay Jane Abbott. Brady Allen Abkis. Aubrey Ruthann Altis. Allison Marie Argis. Megan Eve Argis. Joshua Stephen Arthur. Chase Stephen Backer. Keyshawn Andreas Banks. Nicholas Allen Barber. Juliana Ruth Bartholow. Gabriella Ann Baumhover. Gemma Ellery Beam. Madeline D. Bechtel. Ashley Ann Bergeron. Derek Anthony Bieneman. Jade Renee Bittinger. Olivia Ann Bixby. Ryder Leo Block. Ellie Jane Booth. Louisa Sophie Borchardt. Jaden Ryan Brunson. Abigail Lynn Burrish. Natalie Ann Berman. Caleb John Burrow. Cameron Elizabeth Guzman. Carla Clara Bustos. Matilde Calcagna. Mary Grace Corollas. Austin Mitchell Carter. Gonzalo Castellanos Quiroga. Jaden Capri Caston. Madeline Johanna Chase. Genevieve Nora Chopard. Luke Corbin Cool. Cash Michael Klein. Caitlin Leanna Cole. Emma Lee Cooper. Zachary Aaron Cummer. Ella Muriel Cavalier. Joshua Cooper Darren. Emma Dunviva Da. Delaney Grace DeBauer. Jacob Earl Dykey. Trevor Allen Derringer. Anna Fern DeWall. Danny Diaz. Shay Michael Doyle. Clay Dennis Draper. Alexia Lorraine Donahue. Olivia Grace Eckerman. Sarah Allison Grace Engelhardt. Independence May Eckley. Jeffrey Alexander Fank. Bailey Joe Folkerts. Kyla Marie Foy. Avery Irene Freeman. Sophia Ann Frenner. Elizabeth Whitney Ferricks. Tristan Caleb Freilich. Kennedy Ann Frost. Grace Michael Gady. Ryan Wiley Garbus. Julia Garcia Simone. Tyler James Gast. Tyler Matthew Dyer. Tristan Lee Geary. Haley Lynn Gertz. Alexis Kaylin Gilau. Noah Michael Gedeke. Nora Jill Graney. Dara Gamatieva. Matthew Lane Julick. Chloe Catherine Haggerty. McCrae Rustin Haggerty. Maggie Ray Hart. Lucas Ryan Hawes. Sawyer Rain Heidemann. Eva Elizabeth Heisey, Paige Nicole Hendricks, Alex Scott Hintz, Paige Rayanne Hoffman, Caleb Trent Hoynes, Kirsten Brom Holmquist, Samuel John Horniak, Marley Ray Hovengay, Allison Marie Hubbard, Emily Ann Hubbard, Miranda D. Jansen, Dallas Jason Gerard, Thomas Grant Jensen, Kayla Christine Jefferson, Ethan Michael Johnson, Gunther David Johnson, Dawson Andrew Kaiser, Jenna Jean Keller, Aiden Omer Kelly, Samuel Kurt Kilworth, George Xander Kramer, Madison Lee Crashmer, Jordan Matthew Cruz, Caden Leo Keeker, Nicholas Patrick Langdon, Jory Jalen Lee, Sadia Elizabeth Clay, Ryan Ray Linder, Amber Michelle McCubbin, Wade Garrett Otto Mackley, Brinley Jenkins Meyer, Shyla Jan Merkis, Marshall Frederick Meyer, Gracie May Sunshine Miller, Nicholas Edward Miller, Zylodia Keisha Miller, Brody Allen Munt, Lauren Faith Munson, Lance Edward Meyer, John Russell Nelson, Asa Johan Newsom, Braden Michael Nolte, Rebecca Ann Nosbish, Tanner Michael Nuss, Madison Noel Ullman, Jewel Marie Olmsted, Simon Andrew Ott, Lindsay Ann Overman, Isaiah Marcus Perez, Nicholas William Perot, Braden Michael Phillips, Callie K. Potras, Kellen Isaac Pugh, Amity Brielle Rodemaker, Riley Judith Ryder, Jack Harper Wren, Nick Ruling, Brady Nicholas Rowling, Samuel John Rose, Caitlin Michael Runge, Sean Marshall Runge, Maya Suzanne Rutledge, Paige Nicole Saylor, Joseph David Schmidt, Joshua Jacob Schnell, Brody James Straughty, Tyler Jacob Schreiber, Gabrielle Jared Schultz, Allison Lee Seegers, Trey David Seahawks, Tyson David Seahawks, or Tyson Lee, Chloe Ann Short, Braden James Smith, Josie Lee Smith, Haley Noel Smith Laughlin, Hayden Lee Snyder, William Joseph Sosby IV, Jake Patrick Stack, Dylan Allen Stockdale, Jalen Jerome Sobel, Haley Ann Strickler, Anna Marie Stromberg, Ellen Genevieve Thompson, Nina Marie Thor, Jackson Robert Toma, Carly Ann Trowbridge, Chloe Jean Trowbridge, Yoreli Verona Perez, Mia Catherine Wagner, Jacob Richard Walker, Jameis Jeremiah Weaver, Carter Dean Wiedemeyer, Avery Maureen Wikers, Zane Ryan Weiss, Riley Isabel Westendorf, Dawson Nicholas Wheeler, Emma Lynn White, Brody David Williams, Jacob Neal Wilson, Jack William Wilson, Hadley Rose Wolf, Michaela Ann Wurtis, Abram James Rage, Riley Peyton Yant, and Bryce Michael Zion.
Good afternoon. My name is Preston Jessup, and I'll serve as the Student Body Vice President for the class of 2023. I'd like to thank all who have joined us today to help celebrate this day. We sincerely appreciate all of the steps and sacrifices that all of you in our lives have made to help us get to this point. The class of 2023 would like to express our appreciation to members of administration, as well as each teacher and faculty member at Waverly-Shell. We would not be here today without your guidance and opportunities that you have provided for us. To my fellow classmates in the class of 2023, I ask you, what's next? While this chapter in our life has come to a close, all you continue to write your story. I encourage you to create new experiences, meet new people, and never stop learning more. But also to take with you the countless memories you have made at Waverly-Shell. We may be departing from here, but we will always carry the pride of what it means to be a Mohawk and member of the graduating class of 2023. Keep in touch and check in on one another, while remembering the special place in which you have grown up together. This day is a testament to each accomplishment and opportunity that we have had the privilege to encounter in our time at Waverly-Shell. And I would like to congratulate my fellow classmates on your dedication and commitment to reaching this point. Our graduation marks the arrival of the future, but don't forget to appreciate the journey it took to get here, as well as the people surrounding you who have guided you along the way. While the next stage of our lives is full of unknown and maybe overwhelming and intimidating, embracing this new change is what will allow us to grow as people and reach our fullest potential. This day signifies a new beginning for each and every one of you. I offer my congratulations to you for a prosperous and successful future. Now the time has finally come, and I ask all of the graduates to please stand. You may now move your tassel from right to left, symbolizing your entrance into the next chapter of your life and recognizing all of your hard work and dedication to this point. Without further ado, I present to you the Waverly-Shell graduating class of